Hey, this is Yo Sam Sam, and today we are going to be playing Song of the Deep, and I'm just going to press options, and press new game, and intermediate. Gonna move all the stuff out of the way.
Merrin loved the sea. She loved the sound of the waves calling to her through her window. She dreamt every night of the mysteries that lay beneath. Her father was a fisherman. Each day he went out to sea, and each night Merrin waited at the rocky cliff edge, holding up a candle to guide him safely home. The two of them were poor. Their roof was leaky, and they sometimes went hungry. But as long as they had each other, Merrin knew they would be okay. At night, her father sang her songs about his great adventures. He sang of giant leviathan serpents, haunted caves, and a lost city of gold beneath the sea. Merrin knew the stories weren't real, but she loved to listen to them. She drifted off to sleep, imagining the wonders of the world below. And her life continued that way, simply and happily. Until one night, her father didn't return. Merrin held up her candle at the cliff's edge all through the night, staring out at the empty sea. She shivered in the cold wind as she watched for him all the next day. Her eyes welled with tears as night fell again and there was still no sign of her father. At last, she collapsed into sleep. In her dreams, she saw him, trapped deep beneath the sea, calling to her for help. She awoke with a jolt. A desperate and dangerous plan was already forming in her head. She took scraps of metal and wood her father had caught in his nets and pieced them together. She hammered and bolted, she measured and sawed, and before the sun had set, she had built a tiny, rickety submarine. With trembling hands, she squeezed inside and dove down beneath the waves to search for her father.
So I'm just supposed to search for my father? Not for my father. For her father, then. Glow kelp forest. The claw can pick up bombs. It's not really helpful since I don't even know how to use the claw. Use burst, use boost to pull submarine objects. And so things should be downloading since the script is done. Oh. Is it gonna tell me how to play? Oh. So while I play, it's gonna tell me how to play. It's gonna be fun. So I can't go through there. Okay. Am I supposed to go up? Oh.
The world beneath the waves shimmered with mystery. Glow kelp bulbs lit up around her as she passed by.
So those are just supposed to light up the place. So can I grab these? I guess I can. Ooh, I see.
Merrin spotted some odd-looking old coins. Maybe her father would know where they were from.
Hey, you know where you're from, Mr. Crab? Yes, he does. First, they should be smiling. The coins could just be for nothing.
An eerie light flickered and danced on the sea floor like an underwater fire.
Oh, that's
Her father once told her about a mysterious, living energy called time. Could that have been a time wellspring? A seahorse made of clockwork gears darted out of the way as Merrin approached. She wondered who could have built such a curious creature.
Am I supposed to go down there? Yay! At least I didn't have to get that coin. That was really magnetic car.
Merrin approached a glowing scrap of metal and pulled it inside. It was claw-shaped and had a strong magnetic pull.
Actually, no, I'm not.
She took out her tools and attached it to a firing mechanism on her steering column.
Because I still did see another thing. What? Oh, so that's cool. Oh. At least I'm not stuck. I knew I had to go through the other thing.
spotted shock nettles ahead of her. She had to be cautious, as the hostile creatures would attack her on sight.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Oh, I hit them right in the head. Okay. You gotta... I need to do the same thing I did last time. And get in. Claws on those stairs.
As if recovering from a bad dream. For a moment, she thought she had experienced her own death, but it had merely been the time showing her one of the many possible roads ahead. Merrin spotted shock nettles ahead of her. She had to be cautious, as the hostile creatures would attack her on sight.
It's not funny.
Merrin spotted shock nettles ahead of her. She had to be cautious, as the hostile creatures would attack her on sight.
Oh, that was the dead way. That was the dead way. You guys are wrong. Okay, get away. Stop hurting.
Guardian blocked Merrin's path. She knew it all too well from her father's stories, and she knew it must never be woken.
I'm a seahorse. Oh no. Oh, this is... Am I supposed to blow up his face? No, blow up me. Okay.
According to her father, the Guardians had been built by ancient undersea explorers called the Fomori. Merrin always thought the Fomori were a myth. Now she wondered if her father's other stories might be true.
Okay. I get but I have to get a ball.
The old statue reminded her of her father's lullabies about the brave and beautiful Merrows.
This is hard. I don't know if I can just like, if the game will just like let me hold it. Oh. Oh, thank you. I thought maybe you had to put it straight on there. It's really hard then. So can I just watch this? Oh. Gotta get something to break it. I think I already knew that. Well, I'm gonna try this out. Then go back up and see if I can do it. Oh my gosh. Oh, what about if I throw it? Okay. Okay, that's pretty cool. And I'm not gonna take that with me because it already told me that I can hurt stuff with my claw, but I already knew that. So it didn't matter to me.
As Merrin explored, she sketched the terrain on a sheet of cartography paper. Her father had taught her that those who make maps are never lost.
That's pretty cool. Oh, wait, it tells me where treasure and stuff is. So, Grabstone. 12 way. Gate. Oh, gate. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
A huge hermit crab watched Merrin from a rocky ledge. On his back, he carried a vast array of odd-looking treasures. The crab seemed to like shiny objects.
What?
Maybe he would be willing to make a trade.
Really? So, I think I don't need it. I do need it, okay. clan goes through there, and then I'll get the head. Can't hit it. Guess I'll get it to the clan. Oh. Ooh, can I just like throw? Can I just like throw that? Like just go. Thank you. Okay, yes, I can do that. Yes, I can do that. Oh my gosh. Thought it had to, okay. Does the thing stay? Stop going around. I just broke it. I have to get the thing over again? Still, I'm gonna give this to a clam. Oh, I can't. Oh yeah, here's the clam. What?
Giant clams were notoriously picky eaters. Each one seemed to prefer a different kind of treat.
What? I can't get it now. First I'll lose the head. Now I'm gonna lose whatever I can put inside that clam. Okay, I'm just gonna wait until it goes again, and then after it goes again, then I'm gonna go. Yes. Okay. Then just gotta wait the second time because time just is right. Okay. Yes. And I don't think the thing will go back. If it did, I would be really happy. I don't really care about that. Boost jet.
Amidst the wreckage of an old Fomori vessel lay an undamaged propulsion device. Merrin bolted it onto the back of her submarine, eager to test out its effects on her lightweight craft.